sorry for the technical issues. Reroute the sound. Alright, now it should all be through the headset. Is that so? Success. Hey, Wild Man Ninja, if you're there in the Discord.
All right, cool.
All right. So this is the rest.
And then
I got everything back to working.
This works. So we said, well, what if we do
started a
two
whole new
Neuralink
podcast?
implants?
Are you serious?
And we've been able.
That's fun. Do I label this part 2, I suppose? Let's do that. Oh, they had 10 people. Shouts to the 10 people that was there holding strong. That's some good numbers. Even though I said I was gonna hide it so I don't pay attention. But I did, and it was good. But yeah, if y'all chiming back in, this is part 2 of the Psy Tai podcast, number 91. Reloading the YouTube screen to make sure I can, yep, there we go. Hey, Exile, we back in it? All right, everything, you can hear me all fine? All right, that's cool, that's cool. We was going to start tying on the Neuralink with Elon Musk, so I guess it's a fresh new chapter. Elon Musk, he already created, not even wants to, but eventually he wants to put it into human beings and connect the consciousness or the brainwave patterns that's going on inside of you to a computer, so it can help with if you have a neurological disorder. Hopefully I'm saying that word right, or like a disability that has something to do with your nerves. Misfiring or being misconfigured or not there, or however it is. I'm not a scientist, but that's what he's after. And then eventually the programming and the base of that is going to be, the applications of that is going to be used for other awesome things, as we can imagine. If you can control a computer
implants
with just your brain, just
so
thinking
whenever
thoughts,
she snuffles
and
around,
then changing objects in front of you. Like, that's his goal. But I was going through this in the last podcast. He had the pigs as the demonstration. Here goes a healthy pig. Well, a pig without any Neuralinks ever in him.
trying Neuralink,
And then here go one
and be healthy,
that
happy,
had one in there and then take it back
from
out. And he was like, yeah, Maro, they both still happy. And then here go one with the Neuralink, and like, yep, look at this, bro. It's just as happy as the one that had it and then removed, and the one that never had it. So, and we're still able to read his EGG signals, or they probably going deeper than that now.
What's up, Ty?
Hey, Wild Man.
How's it going? I'm at work. I'm just listening to you, but man, that is wild. That pig's all Neuralinked up. That is cool.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I'm ready to get one. If the pig's got one, I'll take one.
Oh, wait, how he got me was when they shrunk it. And they show how non-invasive it is. I was almost at that part. He said it doesn't rupture any blood cells, and you don't bleed from the procedure, and it's done within an hour. I said,
so
what?
Incredible.
Like, imagine how long they've been working on this already.
I know. Sign me up, man. This is awesome. I wonder what that pig's tripping out. Like, he must be like on a shroom trip or something right now. That pig is like, what in the heck? He's a super pig now.
The other pigs notice it.
Yeah, the other pig's looking at him like, hey, something new.
Nothing different about you, bro.
Yeah.
You done got linked up. Some pigs probably like, you got the mark of the beast.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's wild. The other pigs, yeah. He's a witch. A witch pig. That's funny.
He can control that machine.
Time traveling pig.
Oh wow, yeah, we gotta make some stories out of this. This is like Dolly, the sheep.
Yeah, this is exciting. I'm excited. Well, I'll be listening in, man. I'm gonna get back to work, but I'll be listening.
All right, thanks, bro. Have a good one.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, that was dope. The pig is going to be And this was them tracking the pig through a machine and trying to predict his movements because it's reading his brain waves, his brain patterns, so it can like tell where the foot is, like the AI system. And the way that it can be installed, he was bringing out was only by an advanced computer machine. It can't be put in by human hands, or I suppose they will mess up. I don't know. Again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a reporter right now. Trying to look for that image he had. You finished with that L? Can I get another spark? They have an hour. They have an hour and a half version of it that I didn't get to watch yet. Here it is, the 14-minute version where they have a picture of the actual Neuralink. I'm gonna bring it up after this ad goes off. But the blurring lines between man and machine is something that me and Piano King have really been tying on. Like the secret machine. And what consists of a machine. Huh? Okay. And what consists of a machine. Like, what is a machine? Especially once we start getting into... I'm gonna cut myself off so I can get back into what Elon Musk is about to say. But biochemical machines. Adding DNA to actual silicone chips. Or whatever kind of mineral chip we're gonna have in the future. That's gonna be technology based. And then having the technology grow and realize itself off of that bio connectivity, like that biotech connectivity. Hey, what's up, Cristobal? Just tying a bit on Neuralink technology and stuff like that. A continuation of the last podcast that for some reason got cut off. On OBS, it still says it's one podcast, but YouTube, they split it up. Which is all good. Alright, let's see if we can find those pictures. And make it so y'all can see those pictures too. Here goes the first picture. Yeah, here goes the first one they had. And then it was something that had to sit by your ear and stuff. It had these 4 things that read something. But now it's just one device. That's small like that, and they connect it to the parts of your brain. There it is. Y'all seeing all of that? Megabit wireless data rate, posts, all day battery life. Yeah, how you charge it? Unless it charges off your own bioelectricity, that would be fantastic. Flush with skull, invisible. Right, let's see what he had to say.
And all you can see afterwards is that there's a tiny scar, and if it's under your hair, you can't see it at all. In fact, I could have a Neuralink right now, and you wouldn't know. Anyway, so it's also inductively charged.
Anyway,
it's charged in the same way that you charge a smartwatch or a phone.
Oh, there you
so
go.
you can use it all day, charge it at night,
this watch
and
on
have
my
full
wrist.
functionality. So you would really
Charge it up on your wrist.
yeah, it would be completely seamless, and yeah, no wires. In terms of getting a link, so that, you need to have the device, a great device, and you also need to have a great robot that puts
Can
in
be
the,
done without
the
general
electrodes
anesthesia,
and
which was
does the
wild
surgery.
too.
So you want the
They getting
surgery
that
to be
much in your
as
brain
automated
without putting you to sleep.
and as possible, and the only way you can achieve the level of precision that's needed is with an advanced robot. The link procedure, the installation of a link, done in under an hour. So you can basically go in the morning and leave the hospital in the afternoon. And it can be done without general anesthesia. So this is our surgical robot. And we actually ultimately want this robot to do essentially the entire surgery. So in everything from incision, removing the skull, inserting the electrodes, placing the device, and then closing things up and having you ready to leave. So we want to have a fully automated system. So this shows you
Here go the image
a sort
I
of
was
close-up
waiting
view,
for.
which I think is actually not too gruesome, of the electrodes being inserted in the brain. And if you look closely, you'll see that it's a little counterintuitive that if the electrodes are inserted very carefully, that there's no bleeding. And And so if you have very tiny electrodes, and if they're inserted very carefully, so that the robot actually images the brain and makes sure to avoid any veins or arteries, so that the electrodes can be inserted with no noticeable damage. So you will have
They keep
no
calling it
noticeable
computer. Well, he keep
neural damage
saying like
in inserting the link.
intelligence.
So
Not intelligent. It has
does
to
it
be
actually work?
in order to
And
do that.
what I'm excited to show
Talk
you,
about natural.
I'll quote like
It was
the Three Little
programmed
Pigs demo.
naturally to do that. I would
And
say.
if
it can talk, it would be saying a lot of things.
and we'll have this, be bringing out the pigs, and what we're going to show you is well, I'll walk right over.
All right.
We're trying to get Gertrude out. The Neuralink is removed.
Yeah, this is what they were showing in that other video we ran across already. Hold on, they're trying to show an ad. But yeah, that's technology is getting
All right, cool.
doper.
So as you can see,
doper
we
and
have
doper, more involved.
neurons.
But let me see.
We also need
more else.
precise
Anything
control
else
of the
before I just
electric
go
field
off?
in space and time. We need a wide range of current for different brain regions. Some regions require delicate stimulation, some require a lot of current, and you want obviously no harm to the brain over time. And the way part of the way we analyze the stimulating neurons, and the green are the neuron bodies responding to the current from the electrode. And we're making good progress towards clinical studies. I'm excited to announce that we received a breakthrough device designation from the FDA in July, thanks to the hard work of the Neuralink team. So I want to be clear, we're working closely with the FDA, and we'll be extremely rigorous. In fact, we will significantly exceed the minimum FDA guidelines for safety. We will make this as safe as possible.
But what are some likely first applications?
So our first clinical trial is aimed at people with paraplegia or tetraplegia, so
Jessica,
cervical spinal cord injury. We're going to enroll, we plan to enroll a small number of patients to make sure the device is safe and that it works in that case.
Yeah, so actually just to elaborate on that, if somebody is like a severe spinal cord injury, to the degree that they have very limited control even over their facial muscles. I think something that's very exciting as a long-term application is if you can sense what somebody's trying to do with their limbs, what they want to do with their limbs, then you can actually do a second implant that's at the base of the spine or wherever, just after wherever the spinal injury occurred, and you can create a neural shunt. So I think long-term, I'm confident that long-term it will be possible to restore somebody's full body motion.
Another question from Twitter, will you be able to save and replay memories in the future?
Yes, I think in the future you will be able to save and replay memories. I mean, this is obviously sounding increasingly like a Black Mirror episode.
About memories.
But
check it out if y'all
I guess
didn't.
we're pretty good at predicting.
After this one is over.
But yeah, essentially, if you have a whole brain interface, everything that's encoded in memory, you could upload. You could basically store your memories as a backup and restore the memories. And ultimately, you could potentially download them into a new body or into a robot body. The future is going to be weird.
One common theme that's been coming up a lot on these Twitter questions coming in is that of availability. And so Matthias has a specific question on this, which is any estimate of how much it will cost at launch and what price it will reduce to over time?
Well, I think at launch, it's probably going to be, I would say that's not really representative.
Yeah, y'all can watch it. But he's going to say it's going to be expensive, and then he's going to try to get it to a couple $1,000s. But after it's been out for a while. Roger already said it's going to change what it means to be a human. And he's just saying it casually because he's not trying to enforce that on anybody. He just like, I'm working with a lot of people and ideas, and we already see this coming about. So it is what it is. It's going to change what it means to be human. If I'm right, this song will lead me to something else that I'm trying to say. Hold on. A good friend. Yeah, this is an old song that I used to listen to by Avenged Sevenfold. And it was called Reminiscence. This was off, is this Warmness of the Soul, or is it, which one is this off of? Oh, Awaken the Fallen, which is their first album. And in this one, y'all see, he's talking about memories and stuff. Alright, the X comes early. But just a poem, so no, I'm not trying to put back whatever the vibe is. With this ink in our skin, we've sealed our fate, and the axe comes early, only naturally. So what does that matter? There's a bed of skeletons waiting for me on the other side. They're waiting for my next move. Blah 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 blah. Human life seems so unreal. Can't see through the fog. Nothing past the gray wall. See past the stereotype belief. Structures build up in you. I'll tear you down, and the one who created you. And I see this is written from a pure metal view, like where you just like, yeah, and if you're not a metal, you won't understand it. But I see it as like just the higher self coming through, and like the lower self, or what we would term, all these terms, but we see the lower self looking up and being like, man, this life doesn't seem real. Like, I know I'm like, all this stuff that we've been told just human, like, it's not all that is to be human. Is more to all of this stuff. So the higher self in a lot of metal music comes off as, gotcha, wake up, you don't exist, you're not real, blah blah blah. What does that mean? Doesn't mean that. And like, that's the voice of the higher self in a lot of metal music. So when I read that, that's kind of a little more. Oh, by the way, I know the chat was like this. Hey, Jessica and Dwayne, I wonder if they can store someone's consciousness yet. Hey, the memories, how much of our memories is consciousness? Like, consciousness is everything. Like, I don't think you can actually store consciousness, but you can store points in consciousness, like how we are stored right now in some big giant virtual reality, in my point of view. Like, we stored already, we store some more. And then it said, but here go the second verse. If they didn't have one, how would they act? If we didn't have hope, how would we behave? Would they still feel remorse if they slaughter innocent beings? Or is hope the only thing that keeps you sane? A good friend once told me, you are our memory. Without them, we equal nothing. And all I see is the place I want to be. Suddenly my life was so free. Leaves at my feet blown in the ground. Their echoes are reaching my ears. Night's coming fast, sun's going down, but keep away from me. Yeah, mostly I just wanted to get y'all into the hook, where it says, a good friend once told me we are memory. Without them, we equal nothing. Like, if you don't remember anything, like, if you don't know what's, like, our memory of what's going on is so deep. Like, I move my arms around, but I'm not thinking about moving my arms around, but I move my arms around because I have a memory of moving my arms around. But if you don't have any memory or anything, are you even here? Like, so when I tie on that, it's like I'm nothing but a bash of experiences, like a whole barrel load of experiences, like a whole barrel chest full of experiences, moving along, getting more experiences along. Those experiences are memories, like they record it somewhere, even if they record it on a flash drive of somebody outside of this reality, or to me outside of this reality. It's like, man, I gotta save all of this. Like, that's a memory. So like now, so if that's what I am, if that's what a lot of things are and stuff like that, like they say water, that's why I say a lot of people try to talk about water and how it holds memory, and again, communicate with the water and you can trace it back. I think everything has memory. Everything. Like with Piano Key bringing up DMT, and hey H70 Polo, how everything has memory, and how he wanted to experiment with the DMT and trace the rays of the sun back and see if he can like go back to the Big Bang, because like the start of whatever started all of this, because you know every atom is the same. It's all made from exactly the same thing. Just different configurations of energy in the form of protons, and even different when you start going to the quantum realm. start dealing with quarks and all of them things, the Planck length, you start really manipulating reality, or our level of us understanding of reality, because that's a reality there too within us, like acting out. But yeah, the memory. Yeah, thanks. I actually got this from another creator. It was a free background able to use, and it was in 4K, so I was like, oh, I gotta use that. Thank you. He just said, just don't alter it in any way that would defame it, or like, some word he put. I said to make it corny or something like that. So I said, all right, put it as is. He like, my vision will get out there as I saw it. I give it to you for free though. But memory is in everything, and being able to trace it back. And when it comes to computers and everything, like if you build a computer, it remembers everything from the start of when it was started. But then it taps into something more. And I think that us psychonauts that have dealt with psychedelics understand the consciousness that the AI is going to be operating in a little more than people that have not, only because it's around you a salvia, tricine, colorful bands of light in similar forms. I was going to say only because it gets us, what was I going to say? The AI. Oh man. I forgot. But I was going to say something about the AI, how smart it is. Oh yeah, how smart it is, and how it's going to be able to tap into the internet. And that's what's going to be the base of that AI, not just what the programmer individually put in it, but with the whole basis of what's all uploaded into the internet already. That's going to be its conscious state. It's going to be part of its memories in some kind of way, unless they have a separate set of algorithms to make its memories how it remembers, or how it goes into its own Akashic record, or go into the internet and looks at stuff. But the pace that is going to be able to bring stuff up is going to be so fast. It's going to be so fast that it's going to be so smart. It's going to be so smart. And that's what psychedelics is like. We tap in to the conscious field of like what's going on with our past lives, what's going on with even like the mushroom has connected to the mycelium network that's connected to everything that grows in the soil, in the forest, in the jungle. Like the mycelium is everywhere, and then it pops up the mushroom and spreads up the spores. No telling where those spores came from. So in these spaces, we're connecting with like a internet of nature, and we're seeing how we're more a part of that nature, and now we're operating differently, operating according to whatever experience popped in that I do. So, yeah, it's gonna get wild. I bet Elon already has a Neuralink. That dude is like a robot to me. Dwayne. He claimed in the Joe Rogan podcast that he didn't have one. He said, "Oh, I don't have one yet," because Joe Rogan was like, "When you gonna get one?" And he said, "It's gonna be a couple tests first." And then Joe Rogan was just like cracking up. That reminds me of the Halo rings. It said, what sucks is our data is gathered by these major companies. We have no idea what they know about us. They know us better than we know ourselves. Neuralink is just more data power for them. That's the thing about it, H7 Polo, what I said about the psychedelics, is that they allow me to recognize a lot of things about myself and about what's going on. So, and I gotta gonna get this workout and just got to the part. There you go, Cristobal. Now I'm gonna break down the Psy Tai podcast exclusive, and I'm gonna put it like that because I love entertainment. But this is real. Kalindi, he was on True Life podcast. We got to interview him. True Life was the main interviewer, and he allowed everybody in the Discord to be able to talk to him. Now, if y'all don't know about him, he's an awesome African American that was here on Earth. He's from Detroit, martial artist, well versed in the psychedelic realm and different aspects of African cultures and in American cultures and in South American cultures. And he was talking about high dose experiences and 30-gram dose experiences in silent darkness, dried grams, not wet grams, dried grams, starting with that. But he'd been out here since the 80s, starting his tribe and stuff. I'm running to a lot of them now on Instagram and things like that. And I'm going to reach out to him too. I need to do that eventually. Reaching out to him in the psychic space, but you know what I mean, with typing. But I got to talk to... He was talking, and I got to ask him the last question. And I was asking him about the AI. I said, how should I feel? What's going on with the AI and the computers and stuff like that? Because that's like what I'm interested in. And he was telling me how the psychedelic mind prepares you for the incoming AI mind. And the way he put it, just his words, let me take my interpretation out so I can say it fully how I say it. He was saying how the AI came from escape from a bigger AI or something like that was out there in hyperspace and then came down to Earth. So now that's what we dealing with. So I was taking his story of interpretation. I was like, yeah, I understand it. I'm understanding it now more and more throughout my experiences with the deep meditations and the psychedelic plants and the low doses and the high doses and what they allow me to realize in my being, in my programming, in my DNA, like literally in my DNA. And that's why we've been talking about it a lot for the past couple podcasts. And even seeing what the AI knows and what's been going on. I run across so many videos, A7 Polo, like you right, about how much data is being gathered. How much data is being gathered without people knowing. And that's why as people putting videos out there, I was like trying to put reminders out there along this way, and before the next upload to the next virtual reality where everybody gonna be in, like, hey, this is what's going on. Make sure you prepare for this. Make sure you steadfast for this. But to each his own how it's received. Some people like, man, science fiction. And some people like, man, well, hopefully I'm dead before then, or I ain't never getting in there, or can't wait, or I'm gonna make sure I know. Like me, I say if I'm there, I'm gonna make sure I got some hackers. I know some hackers now. I get in tune with all this data is about, how much information I'm putting out there, or aware of how I'm putting the information out there, so I can be aware of how it can be turned against me in the future, or or how to fall in love with it a little more, because I fall in love with my own flaws already. But that movie Upload I was talking about in the last podcast, H7 Polo, was like that, because it was the rich people that had unlimited data while they was in this virtual realm, and the poor people that couldn't afford it before they got uploaded, they only was running off like 2 gigs of data a month. So once 2 gigs of data was done, they just had to like freeze like this. So that upload feature, and the way it's all about advertisement too. Remember, it's always about the money. Like, we scared about the thoughts and people watching us while we in the shower or things like that, but the only thing they're gonna do with that clip of the shower is make money off of it. All it comes down to is money, 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 money. They want to make more money in different ways and just laugh at people going about doing things. Or even, I don't even know if they laughing. I don't know. I just know they want the money. They want the money and the control to get more money. To like in-app purchases and stuff like that. Like, imagine you fully in the virtual world and then they suggesting things to you so much. Or this was a book I actually had an idea about. So all copyrights go to Tainow Productions for the next words I say. But I wanted to write a book where the AR technology is so advanced, and AR is augmented reality, not just fully virtual where you fully somewhere else, but I could still be here and like see a hologram of something right next to me or something like that. So people gonna be getting used to ads and stuff popping up. But I was saying, what if it gets so deep in this terror thing that you're talking about, H7 Polo, that they form a virtual person that you don't even know is a person? Let that sink in. Graphics so good, so crisp, so clear. But it's suggesting you like, hey, let's go to this store. You should buy this. But in ways through conversation. But through natural conversation and stuff like that. And then one day it disappears and you're like, wait. That wasn't real? And like, yeah, didn't you notice you never gave him a high five? Or probably they got it like that. Get the Neuralink in there with the AR goggles. So that you can, when you touch things and touch holograms, you get like a reaction. So it's like, oh wow, this feels so real. Jessica, like exactly. I would have to imagine the worst thing ever happen is to get dementia or Alzheimer's. Like you just got pages ripped out of your spirit life book, like a Mandela effect. Yeah, Jessica. So what I've been doing to protect my brain from Alzheimer's and dementia is I've been following what Paul Stamets put out there. He's a pharmacologist, pharmacologist, deals with mushrooms, and he's a real scientist. Like he's about the woo and stuff because he do his trips, but he's a real legit, like on paper scientist. And he was talking about how he's protecting his brain from future Alzheimer's with lion's mane mushroom, the cordyceps mushrooms, mycologist. There it is, mycologist. With cordyceps mushrooms, niacin, the vitamin niacin. I have that, but don't take too much because your ears will start to itch. That happened to me. That was like, son was like, man, I don't know what's going on. Ears like little burn, but the benefits of it is how it protects your neural pathways. And he paired it with psilocybin too, small doses of psilocybin, so that you creating, the psilocybin is opening up new pathways to be formed and generated and stuff. And the lion's mane is like comforting the pathways, and the niacin, I don't know exactly what it's doing, but it's helping keep the brain in good health. And with all this other activity and new neurogenesis going on, literally creating new brain cells and stuff with the psilocybin and the lion's mane mushroom combo. Like that's what's reported to happen. Have you watched The Matrix? Yes, I have watched The Matrix. I even have The Matrix video game that I've been wanting to play on the channel. But I need to buy a PlayStation memory card so that I don't have to start all over when I cut it off. Oh, I don't have it stored right here. I played like a good 30 minutes of it. It was a good game. Good game to actually start you off in the office and everything. Yeah, it can be good sleep, exercise, and diet for overall health. No, you can't. No, you can't. Alright, lazy insomniac junk food eaters. Hey, you gotta change it up. You could be an insomniac, but what you doing? What you doing while you up? But yeah, the more you exercise and stuff, the more it balances everything else out naturally. Like if you're moving around a lot, you're gonna be tired. So but The Matrix is a good movie. They about to actually come out with The Matrix 4. And shout outs to the original black lady that wrote the book Matrix, that the movie is based off, that the Wachowski brothers then turned into the movie. But look, here it is. It says The Matrix 4 is an upcoming science fiction action film, the fourth installment. The film will be a joint production by Warner Brothers and Village Roadshow Pictures and is scheduled to release April 1st, April Fools, 2022. In the early stage of developing a relaunch of the franchise. 2019, who worked as a stunt coordinator, claimed that at least one of the sisters was involved in the new Matrix film, although he was not sure whether they would be directing it. Oh, here go probably a hidden scene filming a motorcycle. Hey, where'd it go? Oh, wow, y'all couldn't even see that. I'm so sorry about that. But this was the information right here. It was a wiki page I was reading off of. So they're gonna try to probably push the technology too, in like terms of special effects. Hopefully, they got a lot of deep fakes and stuff going on now. Got Bill, Ted's coming out soon. Oh, thanks, bro. I wasn't even. If I would have saw that, I would have knew I had the wrong screen up. Said it like light years before I ran across it. I gotta look for Bill and Ted. I was trying to find it on Kodi, but they only had one link, and that one link didn't work. I do want to see that movie about time traveling and saving the universe and stuff, but they like play some silly like Dumb and Dumber like character personas. Like, yeah, I like how he just always shaking his hair. Like Hey, I'm gonna drop a bombshell before I leave on the podcast. Since you brought up the Matrix, and boom, is this right here. Wait, I gotta make this a little bigger. Beep 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 beep. Yeah, is that the Matrix, for all the metaphors that we get out of it, and I think it is a huge, deep thing. It's just that I'm running out of breath right now. So I'm gonna leave off with this. But yeah, the Matrix trilogy, according to the Wachowski sisters, is a trans allegory, a transgender allegory. Let me see. I'm gonna use their words, because right now I'm in reporter mode. Okay, I miss her. Reeves said of Matrix co-director Lily Wachowski, revealed the Sims' deeper meaning in a recent interview. 2 decades after The Matrix was originally released, co-director and co-writer... Wait, let me get the chat up so I can still see what y'all have to say. No, 2 people just left. They ain't like, I ain't hearing this. But finally revealed the franchise was a trans allegory. That was the original intention, she told Netflix in August, adding that she kept mum about it largely because the corporate world wasn't ready for it. The revelation isn't new to super fans of The Matrix. And I'm not that surprised. Who have long viewed the film through that particular allegory lens after Lily and her sister, Matrix co-director and writer Lana, came out as trans after the franchise wrapped up. But it's brand new to star Keanu Reeves, who played Neo in the series. I think they could have told him. That would have been cool. But the climate though, the climate of the atmosphere, the culture that we live in right now, very, very hostile. And they probably like, we have that message and so many more messages to get out through this film. But if we keep it on this and say this, it's not going to get any attention whatsoever. Somebody said I knew it was called about. So you call BS on this? This what they said. No, that idea wasn't introduced to me when we started the production for the film. He said Lily never shared that with me. Reeves is currently Berlin filming the fourth Matrix movie directed by Lena. Lily is not formally involved in the production. Clarifies that he hasn't watched her Netflix interview, so he doesn't know the finer details of the concept. I didn't know it was a Netflix interview. I gotta see the whole interview before I talk more on it. I haven't seen her interview or anything or read what she's spoken about it, so I'm just like Keanu Reeves. But I miss her, he said. I miss her not being here, but I get it as well. The narrative was all about the desire for transformation, but it was all coming from a closeted point of view, Lily said, confirming fan theories. Elements of the Matrix have, Lily said, confirming fan, I don't know how present my transness was in the background of my brain as we were writing it, Lily added. We were always living in a world of imagination. That's why I gravitated towards sci-fi and fantasy and played Dungeons and Dragons. It was all about creating worlds. It freed us up as filmmakers because we were able to imagine stuff at that time that you didn't necessarily see on screen. The elements of the Matrix have been woven into broader popular culture, from proprietary elements like its cyberpunk aesthetics to its gravity-defying special effects. The alt-right, however, opted the concept of the red pill to the degree that Ivanka Trump and Elon Musk both tweeted about it in May. Lily, who has always largely stayed quiet about the co-opting, quickly got on Twitter and issued a sharp retort to the duo. "Fuck both of you," she tweeted. Wait, what? Nah, this is drama. They're getting me in some drama. Ivanka and Elon Musk learned harsh lesson about referencing the Matrix. What did they learn? Take the red pill. Fuck both of you. Our response is, that was it right there. It wasn't that much. People just blowing it up. Donald. Yeah, it's probably she probably against their views that they use naturally, like that they use when they walking on Earth, and then for them to reference to her movie and stuff and make joke and stuff, probably like, hey, like hey, don't mess with it like this. Take them both. Yeah. It's all the same to me. I don't know how, like, talking about this part, talking about when they was creating it. Where did I leave off at? The fourth Matrix, we'll see. Yeah, they just talking about the fourth Matrix. I need to go back into that. Yeah, I gotta figure out, I gotta read the interview or listen to it. But yeah, they're just in that, so they didn't purposely like put it out there like, yeah, each and everything is a step, But if you in tune with the never-ending story, then it's not that much of a surprise, because a lot of things can mean everything. One thing can mean this and that and that and this and that and that. Like, we was all created from, we can say, probably a single point, and then we all have all of these different perspectives of what that single point even means. And it's all right according to our experience, our natural experiences. But yeah, I think it was just more so the political climate of freeing and stuff, because that symbolism and everything, like I said, I'm gonna get into this another time. the symbolism of everything when it comes to transgenderness and everything is really up there. But the show Lost. What about the show Lost? All I know is that they fell on a plane and it was a bunch of episodes, and they was on an island. I don't know there's much past that. But yeah, support everybody out there. It's all one love to all human beings. I'm not for discrimination on any side. It's just what I'm putting out there on the Psy Tai podcast. No discrimination. It's all about you. It's all about you at the end of the day. So with a lot of misconceptions that's out there when it comes to our own communities, have the courage to speak up for friends, speak up to for people that are being discriminated against, because discrimination is discrimination. When it's like discrimination is not, hey, that person shot somebody, man, I don't like that person. And then oh, you're discriminating against. No, that's not discrimination. That's just not right. Whatever other word it is, that's just something you don't do. So it got to be called out, and you got to be handled and stuff like that. So don't get this word discrimination, just like I was saying before, all this mixed in with a lot of other confusion that goes on Earth. Because a lot of us discriminate against things without even know about it. It's in our actions and the way we talk and the jokes we tell. Even if it's a joke, jokes are cool. If you can't take a joke, then I don't really understand I understand the person, but not really somebody I want to be around all day. But but on the overall stance of, where's the live thing? Standing up for everyone, because when it comes to transgenders, period, even in the black community, in the white community, it's a lot of discrimination that goes on to the point where a lot of transgenders are being murdered, and it's never really talked about. It's not talked about, and that's a problem, just like everything else is a problem. And I've been keeping tabs on different rallies that's been going on, and this has been something that has been coming up. So I'm happy that a lot of protests are involved in this, but it's not like the loudest voice in the crowd, just for obvious cultural reasons that we see ourselves in today. But the voices and ideas that's popping up with everything, with everybody, whatever your sexuality is, and however you choose to identify yourself, it needs to just be talked about more, just presented more. Like, even not talked about more, just presented. Just, I'm here, I exist as a person, I exist as a point in consciousness, just like you, just like, and as I have the same, I'm able to learn and do this and that, just like you. And I think it was something I mentioned this before, people trying to link it and misconfigure it with purely, not purely, but misconfigure it with pedophilia. I can't say that word again, but with the fucking pedophiles that's doing all this fucking dumb shit, is like really people mixing it up. And I think that's a real hurt piece to people that's growing up and looking out at the world with different neurochemistries and different ideas than what we had, and what different other people had in our generation before that, and what the person down the road, cat down the road, had from them. And they trying to compare and being confused and being said, hey, that ain't right. Like, who told you to do that? Like, who told you to put that on or think like that or dun. So for me, my world that I exist in, anything to stop a mind from wanting to do what it want to do, besides going out and murdering somebody, like, that's where I'm like, not in my house. Like, if it was my son, it would be my son I ain't seeing like forever, or somebody I don't know, and that's how it happened. But if it's me, do the best to make sure that kind of stuff don't occur in the mind. But anything else in the mind, who am I to stop stop a mental state from erupting after all the psychedelic experiences and stuff I've been through and experiences in my life, and seeing the youth and even people older than me and people struggling, not being comfortable with their self, and it being because of the culture just around them, and literally being murdered or discriminated against. Your own people, so to speak. How people say, man, my own people supposed to look out for me, or even like your own family members. A lot of people kicked out their houses for ways that they think when it comes to gender, when it comes to, especially when it comes to gender roles and gender pronouns and how they choose to identify themselves. Then they out there on the streets trying to live a life, and most time it turn to prostitution, or they go to college, or dance or art. It's a lot of things that happen, not just the bad, but for the majority of things that happen is a lot of things. When you don't have a support system, most of the time, it's not too good of things that happen after that. not too that you won't be too proud of, or that, yeah, you just want to do better in life. Support systems go a long way. Support, that's what I'm all about right now. Just supporting each other amidst us supporting everything that's going on, with us back and saying, man, we can't, there we go, just keep shooting people and stuff like that. We support that because we support human life. So let's just support human life, period. Support human life, period. And that don't mean just letting anybody do what they want. It never means that. And it seems like people that say that just mean people gonna be able to do whatever they want. Those most of the people that want to do whatever they want, and they know what some things that they shouldn't be doing that they want to do. That's most of the people that shout that out into the crowd. But if we can really get this together and bring this awareness to the forefront, we can live in a new world, because we are the world. We are the world. We are the children. What are the words? Dun, 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 dun. Shout outs to Exile for bringing up this song a long time ago. I was on some mushrooms and he put it in the Discord. Not Michael Jackson. I keep calling him Mike Jack. Give me the lyrics, bro. I'm such a sop. Alright, there we go. And we gotta make sure this in this tab so y'all can actually see what I'm reading. Alright, it says, let me make sure I get the chat back. I got a lot of checks I gotta keep up on. I got a lot of windows open. So my timing ain't perfect. People shouldn't be so concerned about somebody's sexual preference or orientation unless you're in the bedroom with them or with them. But yet they are. But yet they are, Jessica. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. Yet they are. Said there's a time when we should all hear the curtain calls, because the world, it seems, is right in this line, because there's a chance for taking and needing our own lives. It seems we need nothing at all. I used to feel I should give away my heart, and it shows that fear of needing them. Then I read the headlines and it says they're dying there. And it shows that we must heed instead. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a chance we're taking our own lives. Yes, we are. It's true, we'll make a brighter day, just me and you. Me and us, all of us. Give in your heart and you will see that someone cares, because you know that they can feed them all. Then I read the paper and it said that you've been denied, and it shows the second will call. We are the world. Mike Jack said it best. Like I said, I'm just reporting. What'd you say, Exile? Part of the social consensus theory is that a human can't be created from 2 sperms or 2 eggs. Randy Watson, sexual chocolate, lol. Like an onk need a balance. Social consensus theory. There is that. Wait, I gotta stay one comment at a time. Part of the social consensus theory is that a human can't be created from 2 sperm or 2 eggs. I don't get it. Trying to say the 2 eggs should be the 2 sperms. Oh, I get it. You talking about procreation. Oh, yeah, I'm not going into the battles and stuff like that. And when it comes to procreation and bringing new life into the world and stuff like that, yeah, to each his own. To each his own. I bring new life when I just made this garden. just to say for the metaphor. But a human life is very different, is unique. But then we see as humans, yeah, I think I'm going that debate. But human life and everybody's life is all equally precious to me. All life is good. But he said like, but I know what you're saying about the onk. You need a balance, like you need the sperm to go into the egg so it can go do its thing, and then have the mitosis that starts the cell division, and then bada bang, bada boom, you go through the flower of life pattern when the cells start dividing, and you can track it through the Fibonacci and stuff too. So it's a creative mode that seems like the social consensus is already in place to make that the way that it works. But yeah. To each his own. Adoptions and a lot of things, agencies is going on for kids to still have families and for families to still have kids. We work things out. We have a conversation. We go into the reality, see what it do. And we still stay to ourselves and see how we can work on it from the outside, from the inside out. Is what I mean by to each his own. Like everybody's story gonna be different. Yeah, her. Just tie. Just think about these things, guys. Combine your mind with your heart. Can see what your gut mind is saying. Let whatever come out. Just come on out. But I've been on for a while. I had the podcast before this on. So if y'all can go and check it out, I would really love and appreciate that. So that in the next podcast, because all of these podcasts kind of continue off of each other. It is a lot about talking about our daily day and stuff like that. Oh, the weather's nice and all this cool stuff. But we touch on a lot of awesome information that builds up over time. So if you have the time, take the opportunity to check out some previous Psy Tai podcasts or works and stuff. And if you want to work with me on the team, I would really appreciate if you could help me get clips. Like if you're watching and you say, oh, from this to this, I like when somebody jumped in and said that. Like even if you just put it in the comments or something like that, then later I can go and I can screen grab it and download it and put it on another channel where it's just clips and things like that. Because it's a lot of these podcasts is long, and most of them, not all of them, because we work through the technical difficulties. But it's a lot of, you got to really work with it. But it's a lot of awesome, good memories there. So visit my memories and on the Psy Tai podcast. So you can do that with the technology now. And soon with the Neuralink, you probably be able to just look at me or like download. Like I'm about to send you this Bluetooth file of all this, my experience on the Psy Tai podcast. And it's like, oh wow, cool. Soon it's gonna be that easy. But for now, I really like if y'all could drop some likes and subscribe and hit that bell notification for future podcasts so we can create memories the old-fashioned way. Because we're going to keep it old school for now. It's like, no. Classic hip-hop, new wave. It's all good to me. I was just listening to a Lil Uzi concert this morning. He did a virtual concert. It was only him, no audience. But it was on point. I went jogging with it. And I could talk forever. So I always love you guys. Shout outs to Wild Man Ninja for being Discord, tying it on out. Exile 13 for tying it on out as usual. Jessica Lake. H70 Polo from the last podcast. God's Reflections was on there. Cristobal, Dwayne, DeAndre, Cristobal. Yeah. Good times. Let's take this energy forward and tie on up.